Chrome is a popular electro-metal band in Rook City whose favorite subject is the oppression of the latter. Many of the riots over the past 10 years have been directly incited at Chrome concerts by the band who envision themselves as martyrs. Every few months, a member of the band disappears, likely taken to a black site where they can cause no further disruption. The only surviving member of the original lineup is frontman Nikki Trost.
Hello everyone, Bill here. Welcome to Wylock's Armory. Thanks for joining me today. Got a fun small project for you here today, though it was a large undertaking. A lot of tedium, a lot of detail work. It is instantly catapulted into my personal top 10 favorite projects that I've done of all time. So let's just dig right in and I'll show you how I built it.
Jump a little ahead here to start. This is an LED noodle bought from Terraintronics, and I know I want to use it in the front lip of the stage. So I need some kind of a channel up there, and to do that I'm using Graphics Medium chipboard. This is that grayish brownish slab you'll find at the back of a legal pad, but you can buy it in bulk like I do if you want. There's links in the video description below. Anyway, to cut the shape of the stage with a curved front, first I hand drew half of that shape and cut it out, traced it, flipped it for a perfect mirror, and traced again. So this is the stage, and I cut two of these out of chipboard, as well as a third one that's a little bit smaller on all sides. That's the one that gets glued in the middle. I also pre-painted with some shimmering silver to help with reflectivity, and punching holes for the noodle ends because the battery will be underneath, and sandwiching it all together, we get this. Very good start. Whenever I do structural work, I use double corrugated cardboard for it. It's nice and strong, and the hot glue can seep up into the channels, won't ooze out when you press it, and some thinner cardstock, like from a cereal box, up at the front. I wanted the wall to be industrial cinder blocks. So here's some foam board. This is the kind from Dollar Tree that peels off very easily, and I'm going to attach it to some chipboard for strength. And after that, it's just a matter of lightly scoring with a ruler and X-Acto knife, getting that subway pattern. Normally, we use this trick and widen those cracks that we score with a mechanical pencil to do cobblestone or crude bricks, but for neatly stacked industrial cinder block, I'm just gonna skip that step. I'm not even gonna texturize the foam, just leave it exactly as is. So after a single coat of slate gray, and then a wash with a very watered down black, I'm happy with it, it's good to go. Now here's a cool product. Print your own water slide transfer decals. So I took some art assets from the book and made some other new ones, printed them up and got them sprayed down. It's important to read the instructions. After you print on your home printer, you need to hit it with some spray sealant. If you don't, it just dissolves when you try and get it off the paper.
This stuff is very cool, but whenever I use it, I always print a few copies of whatever I'm doing, and it's not just to have an extra in case I make a mistake. They look great now because they're on this white backing paper, but home printers can't print white, so once they come off, they actually become very see-through. And depending how see-through, I'll stack multiple decals on each other to build up the color. Of course, if you're putting it onto a dark surface, you'll never get there because there's nothing anyway, so I always am trying to put it on something like light gray or white like this.
These homemade decals are going to be a little bit thicker than from a nice factory-made one. So I'm using Microsol, which will really soften and deform the decal. And once it's all bone dry, then I spray on some matte varnish to finish it off. I'm gonna need some big-ass speakers. Here's some junk I found in the clearance section at the craft store. Buttons and hemispheres. This would make good woofers and dust caps. I also bought a cheap set of hole punches from that same clearance section, and these work well enough on cereal box. I would not try and do anything thicker than that though. And after hot gluing those onto a rectangular hunk of cardboard, again trimmed out with cardstock, I based it with black, gave it a zenithal spritz of gray, and repainted the cabinets black. Look above the stage at any big concert and you'll see these truss members. Speakers and lighting are often mounted on them. To scratch build, I got some of these floral wires. They're pretty strong. They're about the thickness and rigidity of paper clips. They just have a green paper around them. So I was bending those into place, cutting tiny pieces, using super glue to kind of finagle it together, but man, it took a lot of painstaking effort just to get this 1/4 of one truss together, and it doesn't even look that good. So after a couple hours of trying, I ditched that and started over with cardstock. Now I'm going to get a little bit into the minutia here, I apologize, but if you want to reproduce this effect, it's kind of necessary. So, on some cardstock with a known right corner, I measured out 1/2 inch lines, then cut strips going the other direction, about 1/8 of an inch thick. Then from another piece of cardstock, I cut another 1/8 inch strip. This one doesn't need to be marked, just chopped into rough lengths of about 1 inch. Doesn't matter, the excess is going to get cut off later anyway. With some upside down tape, I set 2 lengths of the marked strips such that they're 1/4 inch apart, or rather their total width is 1/2 inch. You can see the dots on my map here. In other words, this is the side of a truss and I want it to be 1/2 inch wide. Then I just dabbed some Elmer's white glue onto diagonally opposing marks and attached those short lengths of strip. Making sure to do paper side to paper side. That's going to drink up the glue and make this dry in about 30 seconds. Still, I assembly lined it so I didn't come back and touch these until I had made all the other ones. Then, lop off the excess with scissors, and it's time to assemble them. Now to do that, I used kebab skewers and more white glue. As a little tip, at this point it had been maybe a half hour, and the white glue I had put into my paint palette was probably halfway dry, pretty tacky, and I think that helps a lot. I put good pressure and I held this on the kebab skewer probably for 20 or 30 seconds, but after that, it was good to go. I don't like the silver for the stage. It looks too close to the wall, so I'm going to darken that down. This is wrought iron from Folk Art.
Have a bit of a situation going on here, but always gets worse before it gets better. Clean as you go. So I've got the stage front wired up. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a nice hot pink. On these girders, I'm going to mount some spotlights, and for that, I'm going to use Christmas lights. They pretty much look the part as is. Probably remove the lens and just expose the LED. So it's just a question of what colors I want to complement with.
As it turned out, the LEDs in the Christmas lights weren't quite bright enough for what I wanted here, nor did they have the look. So I used some more conventional LEDs from my kit and just appropriated these carriers as spotlights. I primed them black with an airbrush because it was raining out and so I couldn't spray. A lot of soldering, a lot of electrical work on this one, and very finicky too. Kind of had to fish the wires through the trusses that I had built, and once they're all nice and dry, they're pretty strong, but still, I did not want to risk going backwards at this point, so I was very ginger with it. But I eventually got all the wires fed through, ran them out the back, and then down into the cavity underneath. That's where I spent a good 20-30 minutes getting everything soldered up. This is the fun part.
This is coming along very well. I am very excited. This is shaping up to be one of the more special things I think I've ever built. It's missing a little something. There's some extra detailing we need to do. I know that the stage looks too plain. We're going to messy up the floor and see what other kind of detailing we can add. So actually what comes to mind immediately, and maybe this is too easy an answer, but I was really into 40K and the like a few years back, and I made some orc terrain, and I was really happy with how all that paneling and junk and flooring came out. And this stage is for Chrome, which in the narrative is an electro-anarchistic, aggressive, metal, punk type of music. So I think the orc aesthetic fits pretty well. We're going to go ahead and hijack that. So I'm going to take some graphics medium chipboard, just cut out random polygons. And then I bought this some time back. It's a filter mesh screen. Very thin and not paintable, but I don't think it really needs to be. Sounds good.
Yeah, this shiny silvery grate is not going to take glue of any kind very well. So what I need to do is be strategic and make it so that these cardboard panels are over top a good portion of the metal to pin it down. So a blob of hot glue will be connecting the silver panel to the floor, but it's drooped through the mesh, so it sandwiches it in place. Hot glue for this for speed, and another nice black wash over the entire floor, tie it together. Plus a little bit of weathering. Now this is something that I usually skip because I'm lazy, but to take a piece to the next level, it's surprising how effective this can be. Nice thin brush and a little bit of gentle work. You can get moisture runnels. Then at the bottom, where I think grunge would accumulate, just dappled it on with a thicker brush. This is actually a makeup brush. And again, this is just water and paint. I think like 1 part black paint to 10 parts water. That is all it takes. Bit of an afterthought here too, but I saw this AK streaking grime on my shelf. Figured it was high time to try some of that as well. If you are looking for innovative diegetic mechanics in a mid-crunch cyberpunk system where the character sheet fits all on one page, Neon Skies is for you. Successfully kickstarted last year and now available on my web store. Also, as of the time of publishing of this video, there is at least one actual play, a 4-hour unabridged one-shot scenario which demonstrates all the core systems and the setting. And I have Patreon and Amazon affiliate links, but the one thing that means more to me than anything is the subscribe button. Not even like. Actually, don't click like. Don't like this video. I don't care, but do subscribe. And thanks for watching today. I am Wylock, make things and play games.